Hi, welcome for our RTL online trainings and placements. In the interviews, sometimes they will be asking us some important table names in Global HR module. Sometimes they will ask us some column names which are important, regular, and they'll ask us where do I find this column? For example, let me open some important. Even though we are going to apply as a functional consultant, we must know these important tables and the primary keys also. If we look at here, most of the people will be knowing this for all people F. This is the table which contains the employee details. It contains the employee information where we see the employee number. Person number means employee number and person ID is the primary key. But I don't see the employee name here. We don't see employee name here. So if we required employee name, we need to join this table per person names underscore F. Underscore F stands for full view. Full view means we'll be able to see all the records, even though if the record is having some history, means effective start date and end date, the previous history also we see in this table. So for that, we need to write one where clause, where condition to get that active record from the database. Okay. So based on the person ID, we can see the corresponding person names in this table per person names underscore F. If we require date of birth, employee date of birth per underscore persons. So they'll ask like which table we can find the date of birth per underscore persons. And which table you will see the gender, employee gender, and nationality per citizenship. Email, separate table per email addresses. Phone numbers per underscore phones. Assignment information, of course, per all assignments underscore yum table. Okay. So these are important tables. When we are applying as technical consultant HCM, obviously some other tables also important because you are the person who are going to build the queries and build the BI reports. But when we are applying as functional consultant, they may expect this because last week when our students were attending the interviews, they expected this technical. Okay. So that time we should have some idea. It's better to keep these names in some Excel sheet and just view once, right? Can just see every 1 day or 2 days so that we can easily understand. Let me show you the date of birth of employee, how we can get from this table. So we need to get first per all people F, right? For all people if we have to get. So first we take sample data. Let's go to person management, person number, and person number is 101. Date of birth. Where do we see date of birth from the front end? When we go for person tab here, we can find person details. I see that here, person information, date of birth, 23rd October 1976. That is date of birth. Okay. So we would like to go with the reports. 101 is the person number, right? When we want to fetch the data from database, the only place is reports and analytics, BI reports, right? Let's go to BI reports and analytics. Go to browse catalog here. Create data model. Let me write a simple query. First, let's connect to database HCM for all people F, where person number equal to 101. Yeah, got sample data. I required person ID because based on the person ID only, I can find the corresponding employee date of birth. Per underscore persons is the table name, where person ID equal to person ID equal to whatever the ID is. We find this record. Let's go for review. We can find date of birth. Yeah, this is 23rd October 1976. I don't want to have this time format. So I just wanted to have only this format. Can write simple SQL built-in function to get this details here. Let me take it here. To underscore char and pass your column name and change according date of birth, right? Let me come back to query. Date of birth. Then I'll be able to find here. Right. So this is. So these are important. Tables, especially columns. Generally, we see where do you find assignment information and where do you see the jobs information, positions table, locations table, addresses table, like that. But specific column like date of birth, because these all are important, right? So it's better to remember these names when you are attending for the interviews. When you are working in the project, it's not a problem. You can just go to Oracle documentation and try to search. Then we can easily find the details. We can easily find the information. But these are important column names and the table names. Okay. Thank you.